got to meet all kinds of new people, and it was just, I just loved it. I even tell Brian all the time, I'm like, wonder if we should maybe buy that building. Let's try to open up a restaurant there. And he's like, when do we have time to open up a restaurant?
Yeah, you get through it pretty quick. The only thing I would like to have, and I don't know if the reason I don't have as much money as I would like to have is I would have some more junk. But I would love to have a hot dog cart sometimes. Okay. I just think I'd love to make it, because I just love to make hot dogs and do that kind of think about that stuff. And then a while back, I got to thinking about lemonade. I think it's a great thing. You go to the fair and you see people sell nothing but lemonade.
And they're making a fortune off of it.
And I'm thinking, what the heck are they doing? And, they act like they're making it with the lemon, but I know they got a big thing of lemonade back there they're pumping it out of.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, man, that's pretty cool. But I think the simple sense of accomplishment sometimes. Yeah. Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about work. Okay, just for a few moments. So what got you started with nursing?
Well, actually, it's funny because just a couple of weeks ago, my I think it was, a friend I went to school with had posted a picture on Facebook of career day in 2nd grade. And I was actually dressed as a nurse in that picture. My mom made the costume. I don't know. I just always wanted to do it. It was just what was forefront in my mind. And I actually got accepted into the nursing program twice. I got accepted into it right after high school, but I had just met Brian and I thought, well, I'm going to go into law enforcement. That's what he's in. So I'm going to do that. And then after about a year of that, I thought, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't have the temper for this. I'll probably end up in jail. I better not do this. And so I applied again, got back into the nursing program, and I've loved every minute of it, every aspect of it. I started out in an intensive care unit right out of nursing school. Up at Bluefield Regional when it was a much bigger hospital, a lot of trauma patients and things in it, and I enjoyed it. But you didn't really get to have a relationship with your patients there because they're there and they're out to a floor, so you might have them 1 or 2 days, or they might transfer out to another hospital or something, and you just really didn't get to know them. And I just did not enjoy that. And I had always told Brian, I said, Lord, if I have to work in a nursing home, just kill me, because I do not want to work in a nursing home at all. And so I went to Tazewell and worked there for a little bit, and they had an opening at the nursing home. And I thought, well, I really don't want to do that. But, I had Landon, and, it was a day shift position. So it would have been so much easier to be able to have daycare and stuff like that for him. And I literally went there in 1997, and I did not leave there until 2023. I worked for the same company for 26 years. Yeah. And I did pretty much everything for them in that company that you could do. And I loved every minute of it. And then just decided to, step back a little bit. And I wasn't really going to do anything for a while. I was just going to take a little bit of time off. And it was just ingrained into my head. And so there was an opportunity to work for another company doing the same thing that I had done for this one. And it was just a much bigger company. They had buildings all over the entire country. And so I did that for a while, but I'm getting older. that living in a hotel 4 days a week gets old real fast. And there was an opening at the school to teach the CNA program there. And I thought, you know what? I was getting so frustrated with some of the workforce in long-term care because
what is CNA?
CNA is a certified nursing assistant. Okay. They are the ones that do all of the hard work. I mean, they really do. They do all the hard work. They are the ones that are right there on the front lines taking care of that patient every day. Yeah. I have sent people to the hospital before that I could see nothing wrong with. But my CNA said, I'm telling you, she's getting sick. There's something going on. And I had that much trust in my CNAs because they know those patients better than anybody. And sure enough, you'd get them to the hospital and the ER doctor would be calling saying, what in the heck? Are you crazy? There's nothing wrong with this patient. But then when they start getting the labs and stuff back, there is actually something going on. And so I thought, that we've seen that change a lot. It's been harder to fill those positions, and it's harder to find people that actually want to work. They don't have a love for their job like we used to have years ago. And so I thought, well, you know what? I can't do a lot to change that on this side of the fence. So let's go to the other side of the fence and let's actually teach them part of that while you're teaching them how to be a CNA. And let's see if you can't make some change on that side of the fence.
What's the difference between a CNA and a nurse practitioner?
Oh, a nurse practitioner actually prescribes medication and they do all of that. So they're even different than just, regular nurse. It's just different levels. But CNAs can even take a medication aid class and actually pass medications in certain types of facilities. So they do a lot of hard work. They do all the hard work. They do all the showers there. If anybody's getting beat up during the day, most of the time it's them.
I've seen the same doctor for 12 years or longer. But I just recently made a change, And as you get a little older, it's hard to make changes. But I see a nurse practitioner now that's a friend of the family. And one reason I went to her is I told her her and my daughter are really good friends. And I like her. We, even before I started going to her, anytime we had anything in the family medical, we would call her.
Yeah.
Okay. And we would use her all the time. We all text her. We all would call her. Yeah. I got a lump on my finger. What do you think it is? We would always call her. I'm coughing. Yeah. And I thought about, and this is what I run into. I've seen a good doctor for years. She was an internist and really a good, but I didn't know if she really knew me. Right. And I wasn't sure if she really cared. Okay. Yeah. And I wasn't really sure if she really cared that much. And I guess the nail in the coffin was this. I had a trouble with my Medicare and my hospitalization. One said one was a primary. One said this one was a primary. The other said this one was a primary. So they got to arguing backwards and forwards. When I knew who was supposed to be the primary. So they didn't pay the bill where I made the hospital visit. So I left out and went on my normal time to schedule. When I got there, they said, well, she can't see you today because we don't have your bill straightened out, which I knew everybody's got to make money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not having a problem with that. I know that. But I thought, well, now, what if I was sick? I got to thinking about that.
What if I was bad?
What if, and you're telling me, I mean, it ain't like I'm going to leave town over a couple $100 for this visit. Right. And I thought to myself, well, and it's another one of them situations I believe the Lord was pushing me in this situation to do what I needed to do. But when I changed over to this nurse practitioner, she really is good with me. She's better than any doctor I've ever had.
Yeah, and I think that is something that we see a lot. It's not that doctors don't want to be caring, but they're not the ones that are there all day long. Right. They come in and make their rounds or see you in the office and then you leave. But when you're in a hospital or when you're in a nursing home, the nurses and the CNAs are the ones that are there building that relationship with you.